everyone. It's great to be here again. I think we can already get started. Henry's here. Arjan's here well. Hernan as well. Great. Awesome. It's going to be an exciting one again. Today is AMA number 13 already. Great. This is not an unlucky number this week because we're going to announce some really cool stuff. So first of all, newsflash, there's a press release this morning. Our company, Lucky Cat, has entered into a partnership with The Sandbox, and we want to elaborate a little bit more on that. So first of all, we truly believe that the blockchain technology empowers the level playing field between players and developers. And having said that, we have multiple teams inside the company that could work on other projects. And for us, it did not make any sense to work on another Web2 game. And as you guys all know, Sebastian Boguet, who is co-founder and COO of Sandbox, is an advisor to the Panzerdogs project. And it made a lot of sense to have other teams work on the Sandbox. And I just want to emphasize this is a separate team that is separate from Panzerdogs. It's a separate team that's working on this project. So we'll not be talking too much about it, but just want to elaborate a little bit on the press release. At the same time, also want to talk a little bit about how our company works and how our teams are structured. So we have multiple, for example, 3D game artists in our art team, and they cannot not all work simultaneously on Panzerdogs, as this is a pixel art 2D game. The Panzerdogs project is also made in HTML5. So the code base is in HTML5, and not all our developers in-house are experienced in HTML5. So we rather hire new game developers that are experienced in HTML5 who can work on Panzerdogs. And for the Panzerdogs team, we have expanded a lot. For example, we've hired a UI UX designer, a backend developer, two HTML5 game developers actually, another pixel game artist. One is working on the tile sets, another one is working on texturing the tanks, and we have another 3D artist who is modeling the tanks. So there's a bit of structure of our teams, and that's also the reason why it does not make sense to have everyone, for example, work on the Panzerdogs project. But rest assured, most of our resources are going to Panzerdogs. Let's talk about staking. That will be live tomorrow, February 10th. Super exciting. And Arjan will be telling you guys a little bit more about that and how everything works.
Yep. We're going to introduce NFT staking. So you will be able to put your NFTs into a staking pool. That means that they won't be in your wallet anymore, but they can still be used in the game. They're just not available in your wallet, so you can't list them on any marketplace. So if you have your NFT staked for at least a day, you will be eligible for rewards, and we will distribute those rewards every day at 12 or at least at midnight UTC. And we will distribute 100 Sea Panzer tokens among two pools. And those two pools are the Panzerdogs pool and the Panzer Tanks pool. So of course you can put your dogs NFTs only in the dogs pool and tank NFTs only in the tanks pool. And we will distribute those tokens based on the floor price, the ratio between the floor price. So let's say like right now the tanks are way cheaper than the dogs, so the tokens that will go to the tank pool will be less based on that ratio. So also we're immediately taking rarity also in consideration. So rare dogs will get up to 6 times more rewards than a non-rare dog. So it's kind of shifts the favor to the people who have the rare dogs and reward them more. Same goes for the tanks. But you can read in the Medium article how we exactly calculate those. Also, the staking pool will estimate how much tokens you will get. Those are not precise though, so you will actually know when you claim it. But I think the indication is accurate enough to give you an idea. Last but not least, you can also unstake your NFTs. So they're not locked forever. You can just unstake them. However, you need to claim your rewards before unstaking because we don't want to make any errors calculating when you claim your rewards. And yeah, that's it for the staking pools. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Thanks, Arjan. That's super exciting. And right after the staking goes live, we'll publish a Medium post, which will have all the details in place for you to read. All right, let's go to the community questions and the general questions. The first question is, what have been the most impactful elements in the execution of development to this point? What are the main risks to achieving midterm success in 2022? And how does the team plan to overcome those risks? I'll answer this one. So the team and its experience are, I think, the biggest driver towards the execution and development of this project. Obviously we have loads of experience in building a solid game with great partnerships and marketing efforts. So for example, on mobile, we've always managed to get featured by Apple and Google. We have a close relationship with both platforms. And this mainly to get support and distribution. And for this project on Solana, we are already all talking to the main partners for distribution. We believe is needed to be successful. An example, obviously, is Magic Eden. We're in close contact with them, and they're, for example, doing 90% of the transactions on Solana. I think our risk could be to work for the first time with an economy that is attached to real monetary value. So for crypto in general, there's no playbook. And if you do it wrong in a Web2 game, it sucks, but at the end of the day, it will not affect a token price or NFT price. And that's a major difference. So we're obviously doing the best we can. We have experienced advisors like Ko Kim, who is well known in the Solana game space, who was ex-BD at Google Play Games, and currently is heading ecosystem at Niston Labs. And of course, we have Sebastian, who is co-founder and CEO of The Sandbox. And they are already giving great advice on what to do and what not to do. And at the same time, we, as a team, we have experience in data-driven and economy-based games, and they've always worked well in the past. And because of this data-driven mindset, we always have an A/B testing, or always have A/B testing in our minds before fully executing. And I can say, we'll definitely make mistakes, but at the least decisions are being made. With some great problem solving, and I'm sure that we'll make Panzerdogs the best gaming experience on Solana. Another big risk, I would say, is the crypto crash, or a crypto crash that potentially may come or may not come. But in the case that it will come, that would mean that a lot of people would not believe in, there's a decrease in belief in any crypto-related projects. As a consequence, funding and support could dry up. But however, and I think we've stated that on Twitter as well, we believe there's always demand for games and entertainment, even during a bear market. And we've seen that, for example, during the financial crisis, we've seen that games always have been a consistent performer. At the same time, as you may know, Axie Infinity and The Sandbox, they were built during a crypto winter after the crash in 2017. And in my opinion, there's just less pressure when you build during a bear market. And personally, I believe that we're still in a bull market currently, and that means that the pressure to build and to deliver is way higher. But all in all, the biggest risk is a crypto crash. The question is, should we then be worried about Panzerdogs? In my opinion, not really, since I think building in a bear market means less pressure, but the outcome will still be the same. The next question is there a plan to have the tokens listed on any centralized exchanges? I'll answer this one again. The answer is yes. We're already in talks with some of the exchanges, but we cannot share any details around these discussions, unfortunately. The next question is, if you deconstruct a golden tank, does each part have gold skin rarity? So 3 epic parts per gold tank combine 3 epic parts to craft 1 legendary part. I believe this one is for Ion.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so the skin of the tank is a standalone tank part, actually. So the separate parts don't actually have a skin. Skin parts will be obtainable through pay to earn or as an extra drop from crafting. However, they won't be directly craftable, so you can't combine 5 common parts to an uncommon part, for example. I mean, 5 common skins to an uncommon skin. We're still working out details for burn mechanic for skins, but this is how we intend to have the skins. So the parts themselves, they will just be kind of gray versions when you deconstruct them.
Very cool. And the last question for this week from the community is, when can I participate in the Panzerdogs IDO? So we are working heavily on that behind the scenes. And just to let you know, regulatory rules in Europe and US are, and you probably may know that, are not really in favor of launching tokens out of the blue. So we're working with advisors to set this up in a good way so that we not break any local laws. And we still expect to do that in Q2 2022. But also just want to mention that the game always comes first, and the alpha build is also still on track for Q1 2022. So these are all the questions, and if the community has, or if listeners here have any question, please raise your hand and we will be happy to answer any questions that you have. Oh, we have a question here. Graviton Fund, wait.
Hi, Hergy, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Bruno, and I'm an analyst from Graviton Fund, Hergy. And we've been very interested in your project for a while now, and we would like to know if you are still raising funds and if we could partake in this journey with you.
Thanks for the kind words about the project, and I think it's best to send a DM, and then we could take it from there. We'll be sending our pitch deck soon as well. We know we get a lot of requests, so our apologies if we did not get back to you on any requests.
Yeah, where should I send the DM to, Hergy?
Did you send to the Panzerdogs?
Yeah, I believe the first time I sent to the Panzerdog team, like back in December.
Okay, that's then even a bigger apology that we have not been able to get back to you on that. So
no, it's fine.
Rest assured that if you send a DM right now, then we'll answer.
Okay.
It's on top of our minds now. So
I'll send it right
thanks
now.
a lot for the interest.
I'll send it right now. Thanks for the
interest.
Thank you for the attention, man.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Cool, and then we have I Like Money. How are you?
Hello, how are you doing? I just had a question about the rankings. Because I know there's going to be crafting and you'll be able to change parts around and all that. How will that affect ranking?
That's a good question. I believe Henry should become a speaker here, or Herna can answer this question maybe.
Well, yeah, I can answer that, I think. Um, so all the tank parts are divided into rarities. At least like the names common, uncommon, rare, etc. But there is a dynamic amount of NFTs circulating, obviously. So that is an interesting one, and I think we'll keep a close eye on it, and maybe we'll release some tools that you're able to see, like how many of each is circulating. Um, but yeah, I think that that's something important to keep in mind. Like the amount of NFTs for tank parts are dynamic. So since people are crafting and burning tank parts, it will create a new tank part, and old ones are being burned. Um, the amount will be constantly changing. So that's definitely something will help people sort of you know keep track of.
So does that mean the rankings will be rotating depending on what parts you change out? So it'll be constantly changing. Is that what that means?
Yeah, I mean, logically, if you're burning upward, like you're burning tank parts to get another rarity, those on the bottom are there's going to be more circulating on the lower rarities. So yeah, that it. So in as a general rule of thumb, yeah, those the sort of the common parts, it's going to be more circulating of those, definitely, but the exact amount will be changing all the time.
Okay, because I was just wondering, since that's happening, I'm guessing that affects the staking as well. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, well, the another thing to keep in mind is that crafting will be available after the token is released, and the staking of these pools are before the the token is released. So those two will not affect each other. At least those um, the staking of these NFTs is not going to be affected by the crafting.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, sorry if that was not clear.
Yeah, I just didn't know how long the staking was going for.
Yeah, we'll release more details in our Medium post. So if you wanna get more details, keep an eye out for that.
Thank you for your time.
Yep, no
Thanks.
problem.
Good question, by the way. Very good question. Cool. Is there anyone else that has a question? Okay, I guess that's it then for this week. Again, thank you very much for listening in, and see you guys next week. Cheers.